This is a CBNnews.com update. I'm Mark Martin. The UN Security Council, along with Germany, has agreed today to consider new sanctions against Iran over its nuclear program. 6 nations agree on the plan. Iran is under pressure to stop enriching uranium in exchange for economic and other incentives, but the country has not made any moves in that direction. Instead, Iran continues to say it has the right to peaceful nuclear activities. One U.S. official says Iran's latest reply was disappointing and, quote, appears to be a stalling tactic. Iran is already under 3 sets of UN sanctions. In China, the U.S. cyclists who wore face masks in the Beijing airport have apologized today to Olympic organizers. Athletes received the masks from their sports governing body to combat pollution. But some felt the precaution was a slap in the face to Olympic organizers, since officials say the air quality continues to improve. Meanwhile, police detained 4 pro-Tibetan activists after they unfurled banners in front of the National Stadium. One banner read, "One World, One Dream, Free Tibet." President Bush will take a stand against China's human rights policies in a major speech tomorrow in Bangkok, Thailand. Earlier today in South Korea, he called China's pre-Olympics crackdown on dissenters a mistake. Bush made the remarks during a news conference with South Korea's president. People gathered to support the president, and some even hosted an outdoor Christian prayer service. Meanwhile, anti-Bush protesters were stopped by riot police after the situation got out of control. Back in the U.S., authorities have charged 11 people with hacking into the databases of several major retailers and stealing tens of millions of credit and debit card numbers. It could be the largest cybercrime in history. The companies include BJ's, OfficeMax, Barnes & Noble, and TJ Maxx. Hackers simply drove by stores looking for vulnerable wireless networks. Once they found one, they installed software that captured the credit and debit card information. No one is sure how much money was stolen, but the government will start notifying people today if their identities were compromised. And finally, saying I do, 1,000 feet in the air. This week, a couple yelled out their wedding vows while flying above Britain's countryside. Both were strapped to the wing of their own separate biplanes. The Reverend flew ahead of the daredevil couple, using an airborne communication system to help them say their I do's. The newlyweds were windblown but thrilled as they landed after the wedding of their dreams. Coming up later today on CBN's News Watch, the latest on the largest cybercrime in history. And here's Stephen Curtis Chapman talk about how his faith is sustaining him after the tragic death of his daughter. Check your local listings or watch the newscast streamed here online at 4 p.m. Eastern. And for more news around the world 24/7, stay with CBNnews.com.